games to play. Beautiful stuff by them. A good work so far. We'll see if they can keep that play up by. But now we're going to send it down to Tigris for an interview with a member of the victorious CLG.
A victorious team indeed, and we have PoE right here by my side. I do want to bring things to the top a little bit. Going all the way back through the draft, it seemed like your team did a great job of kind of countering what was coming out of your opposition. So what was your mentality going right from the start of this game?
Also, we selected red side because it's just, in general, better for solo lanes, and we decided that I'm just going to go for the 50-50 matchup mid lane. So Asi is just like not really winning any matchup, like really hard, but it's just really safe against every champion. So we just decided to go for the Asi and counterpick to top laner.
And you got to give it to CG. They had a really great laning phase, a couple good picks. What was the turning moment for CLG to bring it around?
Well, I feel like people were really stressed out, so I think Minami did a really good job at like saying like, chill guys, chill, calm down. I feel like we were all a little bit like energetic, so I feel like that really helped, and I'm really, really happy about the Baron call that I did, like the sneaky one over the wall. I feel like they were all recalling, and we have so many good champions to just like sneak the Baron like this, so I just called for it, and I feel like this was a really, really big turning point of us just getting a lot of objectives, and I feel like people were more calm afterwards as well, because we kind of knew that like it's in our hands now.
Well, and Wiggly has said in past interviews that you're not just gunning for playoffs, you're gunning for that #1 spot. Is that still the plan?
Well, for me, it is always just like taking it step by step, but the other ones are looking for a trophy, and I'm just going to try to help them as much as I can, and just like, I think we're doing really good right now, so.
Last quick thing for you. There are a lot of CLG fans out there, maybe not sure on how confident they should be watching this wonderful surge of this performance that you have all had. So to the fans, should the CLG fans be confident in your team?
Well, out of experience, every time people believe in us, we don't do that good, so just doubt us, guys.
You heard it here first, everybody. Doubt CLG, according to the mid laner himself. But to wrap things up here on the stage, let's send it over to the State Farm Analyst desk.
Thank you, Tigris. I, for one, am fairly confident in CLG. I know that that's not what power people might want to hear heading towards the playoffs, but come on. This is a good-looking squad.
Absolutely. I think that they're the second best team.
You think they're the second best team in the league? You concur?
Yeah, I think I would agree to that right now. The weird thing about C9 is they do so many other roster swaps that it's hard to really get a pulse for how good the team is when they have Licorice, then Blabber, and most recently Deathly. But just because they're doing a bunch of weird stuff doesn't invalidate CLG. So like maybe down the road, yes, C9 will be better. But right now, CLG is the second best looking team in the league.
Yeah, and I think, you know, to the point of a few of the games we've seen today, this felt more aligned with the kind of controlled style and confident style that at times TL displays. What was interesting to me was the comment that Power of Evil made about the early game and how kind of frantic, you know, the team felt around, maybe not feeling like they had a strong position.
I think they probably felt frantic because Wiggly was at one point 0-3-0. The team was down 5-0, not able to do anything on their own. But if you look at their composition, you've got Azir, Caitlyn, that then gets buffed up by a Braum and a Karma. So they had the late game in the bag. They just needed to get to a point where they're even. And the outrange factor is just so brutal with the rapid fire on Caitlyn. How on earth does Clutch Gaming approach that when you have a Sivir and a Tahm Kench that can't stand up like a Braum can?
I mean, the one thing they have an advantage of is engage options. You have a potential root landing by the Nico. You have the speed up from Sivir. You have a flash pull. So in the early game, Clutch has more tools to try and get ahead. And I think they actually did a good job of kind of forcing action to happen where they hover around that Rift Herald for so long.
When he looked sick on the Nico.
Yeah, he had a great Nico game too. So I think you saw a lot of good stuff out of Clutch to kind of force this stuff to go on with like TP flanks and getting this really nice engage by Huni. They do a good job early.
Right.
Before they get to that point like Crumbs is talking about where you start getting outscaled.
And this is that early roll of everything that Clutch did right to get themselves an advantage and positioned well through the early game, and probably why Power of Evil Sights feeling a little bit frantic and hectic here in the mid game, needing to make something happen.
And also to that point, you know, as much as there's so much more power on the side of Clutch in terms of how to pick a fight, there's not that much on the side of CLG, so it's a lot of kiting back.
You don't think so with Sejuani?
Sejuani's it. You can throw a Sejuani ult and maybe hit a Braum ult, which is not to say they have 0, but it's still less. And so a number of times people got away with almost no health on the side of Clutch Gaming. And it's because After that Sejuani ult's down, you dump a bunch of damage on him. He gets devoured by Tahm Kench. How do you finish him off?
Right.
And until you're forcing the enemy team to run into you because
have no
you're ahead,
dive.
Or
yeah,
until you
have
get
no
the
dive.
damage dealers high enough to capitalize.
Or
on
yeah,
the
you get them
right
so
away.
strong they die right away.
And then, of course, as Power of Evil mentioned, there was the very intelligent Baron sneak call. And those are the kind of little moments that you want to see from a team, you know, in those moments where maybe they're feeling like they don't have control. How can we get it back? If you're asking those questions, you'll find these moments.
So this one was not the sneak. This one was the last Baron fight where CLG gets the inside track to it, and then Huni is being super aggressive here, but he's doing so because the team can't get into the mix. They're trying to really find their way into the fight, but by committing so much and being poked out, it's just so difficult. The carries of CLG have such a strong range advantage, and they use the terrain very well to make sure that they have the most value out of the current time of their power spikes.
Yeah, and that's also when you have the pressure, so the bot lane super creeps are pushing in and starting to threaten the base, so it puts a timer on Clutch to go find an opportunity, which is when CLG's comp is at its strongest to just kind of kite back, wait till you've blown everything, and then they can go back forward.
You heard Freak say it. Every single time CLG has entered the postseason with a bye, they have won the LCS 2 times. But they are currently positioned solely in second, with only a couple teams able to challenge them at this point in the final weeks of the split. Of course, it was floated out there, the idea of contesting for first place. They're 2 games behind Team Liquid with 3 games to go, so definitely possible. But I think what excites me about this squad is that they feel, to me, that over summer they've had the most steady kind of increase and ramp up, that week over week there has been improvement, noticeable improvement in their game, less so of the roller coaster while maybe still moving up and to the right. And so best of 5s. I can't wait to see what the squad has to offer.
And I have to feel like a lot of this has to fall on the coaching staff, because at Spring, you're basically with the same team with except one player, and this team was almost at the bottom of the table, and suddenly in one split, this team is looking like in the best of 5, they could hold a candle to Team Liquid, and that says a ton because everybody is playing great.
Well, then you pray that they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
No,
and don't
fight 'em
meet
right
until
away.
you-
Fight right away.
You don't want one of those teams knocked out immediately in the playoffs, my friend?
I want cool matches now.
Okay, well, that's fair. We all do. With today's games behind us, let's take another look at the standings. Counterlogic Gaming currently sit alone in second place, just behind Team Liquid, while Cloud9 sit tied for third, with every team but Echo Fox still in the hunt for playoff positioning. Let's see, though, how you did in the predictions game today. The darts were so close with game 1. Almost had that optic call, but TL pulls it out. Those 2 games in the middle of the day. VOD9 dropping a FlyQuest.
You were right that we really just get 3 out of 5 every time.
I was exactly right.
Yeah.
I was exactly right. Jap's on the board with a 3-2 scoreline. He's got a lot of ground to cover before week 9 here. We'll see if he can do it.
Yeah, I mean, he
He's going to have to find about 60 games to be played between now and then.
Well, let's just spot him my record. You know, let's just spot him my record so it looks more
So you
competitive.
go in 1 behind.
Yeah,
Okay
so
with that.
Yeah, let's. I don't want to. It's not interesting if he can't keep
15
up.
games to go. We need an update on StatsBot because Jat pushed StatsBot off the graphics.
StatsBot was 1 game ahead of me, so I think it's tied.
We're
with
Was
tied.
tied, but I don't know what StatsBot's predictions were today.
Oh, that's right. It could have.
Right? Because that could have actually changed.
It's gonna use retroactive
StatsBot went
analysis.
3-2, just like you two.
I was gonna say, I think they're
more
the
of the same here. More of
Because
the
Golden
same.
Guardians, when we were comparing the car prices, was cheaper than 100 Thieves.
True.
And that was-
Right, and it did. Yeah, it is chosen.
It didn't look like a cheaper car though.
Yeah.
Okay, after today, which car do you take?
TSMs.
Optics.
You take TSMs?
Yeah, it's the cheapest one by far.
Oh my God.
Oh, with all the money I got in the
right?
bank on that
Optics
one.
and choose, which is the car I was selling.
They looked really
I just
good.
want to point that out.
They looked
I was
really
selling
good.
the right car. Okay.
I'm buying it because of the car, not because of you. You're a bad salesman.
Moving right along, the LCS returns tomorrow with Crown and Optic Gaming looking to take down Froggen and the Golden Guardians. Then 100 Thieves and TSM clash in Game 2, followed by a battle at the top between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. With 2 more matches before LCS cooldown, where Sneaky and Meteos will test their burrito building skills ahead of the Academy showcase between 100 Thieves Academy and Golden Guardians Academy. Whew, that was a whole mouthful of stuff. What do you think that burrito building competition is going to be like?
Ooh, I mean, I really think it's gonna be really like behind
Is
a
it just a
fast food counter.
Is it a folding competition?
Maybe it's an order.
Or is it a build the ultimate burrito and then we vote on which burrito
Give them
has better
ingredients,
contents?
they put it together, fold it, and see which one actually lasts longer, which one has less of a spill factor.
Lasts longer?
Like a spill factor, right?
I mean, there is an interesting...
I don't judge my food by what lasts
Well,
longer.
no, to be fair to Crumbs, there is an important part of building a burrito that goes beyond taste, is how, can you actually hold it?
Yes.
We digress. If you need more league action, stay tuned for the LEC rebroadcast going live right after the show. But there's an even bigger match that you should check out. And for more on that, let's hear from Latigress and Avali.
Well, thank you so much, Dash. We can't help but be dancing over here on the couch because just 3 months ago, Avali and I were celebrating Maryville's victory over Western University. And tonight, they will have the opportunity to earn North America a world title up against China's Jimei University in the finals. And whew, we saw a lot of action last time we were here just for their qualification position to get to that point. And it was a great way to see a lot of the showcase of these players.
Oh my gosh, I love talking college, and the reason for that is that the players are always so sweet, so bright-eyed, and usually when you ask them, like, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're like, well, I'm either going to be an LCS pro player or a doctor. I'm like, okay, those are two very different career paths, but when I think back to some of the players on Maryville, I think of Saskia, who just looks up to Doublelift as like the pillar of inspiration for AD carries. And I think back to Niles, the top laner, who his team was calling him like the next Licorice, next NA homegrown talent. And the support from his mom buying the entire team Smurf socks to Smurf on their opponents.
I think that was one of my favorite moments, was running into his mom in the bathroom, as people just do on a regular basis. And she could not help but completely talk up her son. The pride that she felt was so deep, not just in him, but everybody else on the roster. And we've seen great things from this university in the past. It's not the first time Maryville has really showed out.
3 years in a row, I believe. 2017, they took first place, and again in 2019. So this is a team, or excuse me, a university who has a varsity program, hires the best potential coaches, team managers, and sports staff, and the results are showing for it. Like, this is a great program that supports their players and their teams.
Well, and the crazy thing is, we talk about NA so much here, being NA fans ourselves, and watching them perform in the past was great, but now being in the finals against China means a lot to them and the region. So are you gunning for NA, still vying for them in the collegiate circuit?
Oh, you know it. See, I told you, college, the most important scene in competitive esports, because they are going to bring NA an international trophy. They took down EU, they took down Korea, now it's just China left over.
And who knows, we might end up seeing some of these players on the LCS stage. If you looked at the way Artemis was gunning for Niles last time around, I'm sure there are other players that are on the radar as well. But if you're up late into the night, be sure to tune in to the English language stream tonight on Twitch at twitch.tv/bigleague_NA as we cheer our North American reps. Third place match starts at 10 p.m. with the finals starting right after. So back to you, Dash.
Thank you very much. You guys feel that?
Yeah.
That's the glory of a world championship descending upon North America, brought about by Maryville University.
We've gotten them before in collegiate. There's a ton of tournaments internationally that North America has won. We're one of the best collegiate regions in the whole world. We just got to focus on that.
That's the future of this league, though. I love to see these young players doing big things. Yes, world champions. Got to do it in college first, and then they come to the big leagues and they show us how it's done. Make sure you get on Twitter and gas those guys up as they go in and fight for a world title tonight. But now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS. Good night.
I had a depth on my roster 3 years ago, and I got a depthly a slightly downgrade.
Same thing.
Only little though. Little, right?
Imitar?
I vaulted 3.
Hey guys, can we chase this guys?
Run up. Yeah, I vaulted.
Able to pop the ultimate. Everybody joins Clint. Ultimate's gonna find the route.
Pobelter flashes out. Santorin's still going to be kept alive, but only for a moment. Turtle in the stopwatch, keeping himself alive. Only for a moment as Pobelter goes into the back line. So that is Summoner Spell down. Good play by Clutch.
Yeah, really nice.
Oh, that is huge for Hootie.
I'm watching.
Okay. Their base. Yeah.
Look. Nico. Go, Chops. I go.
Go. Go ahead here.
Froggen trying to find some extra damage.
There is no way a Thresh and a Skarner defend against this. The Requiem will take amazing. Devil's gonna be taken down very low. Here comes the package delivery system. Package delivery is down. Devil sends some trouble. Over the wall goes Meteos, and there's your loot pinata with it. And they've got him already. Jensen's in some trouble, and Xmithy's already dead. And that was one hell of a trigger pull.
Hit me. Drop it. I'm gonna ulti it back. Go. Nice. Keep going.
Impact! You cannot say anyone had more of an impact on this game.
Has to flash away as well, and now Mike Young is on the chase, and the first blood finally comes through. Another stun! Trying to burst with it, but the Gary health does come in. Still some chunks out from Corki. Kled re-engages, gets knocked right back out. Beatable stuff there. Broken Blade engages them in the fight, though. Phoenix packed is backwards, and here comes the rest of the engagement. But Sven one-shot the guy, and it's TSM losing members. Apollo, can he get the root? He's gonna try. He gets
Matt, let's come here. Over here. I'm gonna top watch in the base, yes.
Okay. Baron recall is only 4 seconds and it's on the surviving members, so there isn't a play to be made.
You can go.
They go into the base. They're trying right now, and here comes Doesn't